Zuri. Now, karibuni sana Pastor Steve pamoja na Grace.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. Tumewatafuta sana and finally tumewapata. Naona mnazidi kung'aa.
Wakati wa Mungu.
How is it going so far?
Kofiti,
Yeah. Ai ndugu umetulia sana. Unakuanga hivi behind the scene. Na vile nimekuona pale wewe umechangamka.
Kofiti, nashukuru.
Amen.
Nashukuru, God amekuwa faithful.
All right. Grace, how about you from your end? Uko aje?
I'm good. Nimesikia ukinichokoza indirectly.
Unajua tumegrow mtaa moja lakini sasa watu hawezi ona kama nimegrow. Ni wewe peke yako ndio umegrow.
It is well. I thank God.
Awesome.
It's been a minute since we met.
Yes.
But like you said, tumegrow mtaa moja. Ni venye wewe ugrowingi.
Aki.
Wewe ubaki to the same. Mimi ndio ugrow for you and for me.
We are very down to earth. Si ndio OMODECX? I think hapo utanisupport sasa ndugu.
No, you are alone.
Oh. Ni sawa tu. But first and foremost, just a brief introduction, Pastor Steve and pamoja na Grace. For those that are watching for the very first time na wanashanga, this couple, nimeona wapi? Nimewasikia mahali. Just a brief introduction. Who is Pastor Steve and who is Pastor Grace?
Pastor Grace. Nasere Nomondi.
Yes.
I'm born again. I'm also with my husband. We lead a ministry called Fulham Fellowship Church. We are currently in Nairobi, CBD.
Yes.
Apo Sheikh Karume Road. And we thank God. I'm also a mother to many sons, spiritual sons and daughters. Yes. But I'm also a mother to one biological son.
Wow.
Yes, and I'm a happy wife.
Wow. Amen. Ndugu wewe naweza utajiintroduce aje?
Ashamaliza. It's a done deal, man.
It's a done deal.
Ashamaliza.
Hapo sasa.
Umesikia ameita Omondi hapo mwisho, so that's it.
Unajua pia mimi naitwa Omondi. Umetaja Omondi mgani? Which Omondi?
Oh, me.
But iko sawa. Now let's get into it. Ningependa kujua how you guys one of the comment ilikuwa ni the meeting point, place yenye watu wanaanzia inachangia pakubwa to their journey. And today we are talking about if the 21st century love ama relationship in a fail, because kumekuwa na so much that has been going on. You guys, mlipatana aje?
We met in circles as a ministry. Actually, we met on your invitation, actually. That's about 10 years ago.
Kwa hivyo nilichangia?
Yeah. Ulikuwa invite sometime back. I think that was about 10 or 11 years ago.
Yes.
13 years actually. 13 years ago. Yeah, ulikuwa invite kwa show yako Baba Dogo. Kwa Kesha. Yeah. That's the first time nili meet my dear wife, but then tukakuwa mabeste, tukapoteleana after that event. We met 10 years later.
After your event 10 years later?
Yeah.
Amko mna keep in touch, mli exchange contacts hiyo day?
So we exchange contacts, ilikuwa tu actually nimpeanga word hiyo time. Nimpea prophetic word hiyo time. Kwa hiyo Kesha. Yeah. Then 10 years later, history repeats itself.
Yes.
The prophecy again was released. And so yule kurimenish tu niliona mtu wapi. Then you joined the dots. You remember we met some time back. And here we are.
Do you agree ya kwamba the 21st century love ina fail? Sababu sijui siri yenu ni gani, and the way you're young na still make it fresh?
In my view, it's failing.
It's failing.
It's failing big time. Kwa sababu the view that people have concerning marriage is widely distorted. Today people are not marrying because of purpose and assignment. People are marrying because of love, which love in itself is an emotional infatuation thing. When there is misplaced priorities about love, then you find the whole thing is wrong. Foundations hazikuwa strong, na unapata hata Bible inasema build your foundations on the rock. So today people are building their relationships based on people's opinions, based on emotions, but not on intellect. So it's not so strong. Unapata msee wanaleo after 2-3 days, 2-3 years they're done. They break up, they divorce because the foundations are wrong. And the Bible says when the foundations are shaken, what will the righteous people do? So I believe kwamba it is failing to a bigger degree, but also there are remnants in every generation.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your take?
Love, the love we were introduced to when we were born has not changed. Love remained love. But the idea of love in the people in this current generation is what has changed. You see, since the days of Jesus, we were introduced to love, and that has remained the same kind of love until today. But even when God created Adam and Eve, He introduced love to them, and that's the same love that we have seen over the time. But as people change, as people evolve, as time changes, love is also changing with the ideas of men. So you find that what love means to my mom is not what it means to me. Because I was brought up in a different generation. Yes, she was brought up in a different generation. And the love she was introduced to, she tried to introduce me to it. But because of the current affairs that are happening around me, because of the things that are there now in the world, you find that love is changing. We are trying to evolve love. That's why you'll find people saying, love without money, love without materials, love without this and that. So they're adding things into love, therefore taking away the original definition and the original intent of love. So love in itself has not changed.
Okay.
It's us who have changed and are trying to change what love really means today. Yeah.
All right. Ningependa kuelewa Pastor Steve, kabla mpatane, what were you looking for in a woman? Na ulipomuona ukasema, I think now these are the qualities that I was looking for. Eh?
Well, like just the way she said,
Yes.
I believe there are 3 gateways in identifying a person. First of all, you cannot find the right person if you have not found yourself. It begins with an individual. Change begins with oneself. You have to find yourself. And if you look closely in the Bible, you realize when God is putting Adam to sleep, he was in the Garden of Eden. He was doing something. There was a purpose why he was put there.
Yes.
He was to till the land. So the assignment that a man has will drive him towards knowing what he wants. The problem is when we don't have clarity of purpose, then we will fall for anything. You know, there are. So I talked of the three gateways. We have the gateway of intention. You must be intentional. What do I want? I want this kind of a person with these qualities. Then there's the gate of attraction. What attracts you to this person? You know, me personally nilikuwa nimemwambia Mungu mimi sitaki kuwa dem fupi. Yeah. Sababu kwetu sisi wote tumefika, we are down to earth. So I told God,
very humble.
Yeah, we are very humble down here. So I told God, you give me someone who I can look up to. You know, what attracts you?
Yes.
You know, and it's different for everybody. And then there's the gate of retention, where now you retain. Now the place of retaining a partner is now on the purpose I was talking about. You see, the moment God did not create Eve because Adam was lonely. Adam was alone. There's a difference between being lonely and being alone.
Oh, okay.
Because now loneliness is driving many people to making wrong choices. But when you are alone, you don't get just a lover. You get a purpose mate. Because now when you find a purpose mate, then you come together, you begin to achieve a vision. What makes people stay together for long is achieving the purpose. Because tapata mali, the love will fall off. What will make you remain this person is the purpose, the assignment that God gave you. So she has to come to complement your life. So I was looking for somebody who can be able to understand my purpose, my assignment, my calling. And as she comes to my life, we are not competing. We are complementing each other. So when I am down, she can lift me up. When she's down, I can lift her up. And we are pursuing this same purpose.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hizo qualities umezimit. Pastor Grace.
I cannot speak for him. Yeye ndiye anafaa sema if I met them. But
she did.
She did.
I mean, beyond what I expected.
Yes.
But we are happy people.
Like, do you do what he's saying now? Like, you're there for him, uplift in vice versa? What expectations zake maybe?
Among my vows,
Yes.
when we were doing our wedding, on our wedding day, you see, when you're marrying a pastor or a senior pastor or any other minister of the gospel who is known as and is in limelight, and people love him or people follow her because there are also ladies who are in the ministries, there's this one pressure of, if that man tomorrow comes different or doesn't deliver the way he normally does, the blame doesn't go to him, it goes to the woman or the man he married. So among my prayers, even when he approached me and he poured his heart out, one of the battles I had was, can I really fit in the shoes of a pastor's wife, a lead minister? And so I prayed, and after praying, and God gave me the courage and the answers I needed after seeking even advice from a few people who are close to me. The day of our wedding, I remember the officiator gave us a moment now to speak from our heart. And one of the prayer I made before God that day was that his ministry will never fall on my account. And as long as I'm in his life, he will not go down, but he will go up. And I believe I have done the best of my abilities. And I also said, with the help of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, because I can't do it alone. And so I have seen changes. I have seen God follow me and follow his word in my life through me to fulfill that desire and that prayer I made that day. So I can confidently say I have been a help, because I came in to help, not to lead, to be led as I help. So I have been really a helper as Lord would have enabled me.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Now, before we go back to some musical break, ningependa kujua your sentiments on this. Is it true that kwamba mapenzi ya siku hizi ni tokens? The moment ikiisha, bas, kama umepata service yako, kuisha, ni hivyo. Do you agree to that comment?
I think just the way she had said earlier,
Yes.
our definition of love has been distorted over time. And we need to go back to the drawing board and find out what really is love. For instance, a woman has no capacity to love.
Hawatupendi hawa watu?
Biblically, they don't have a capacity to love. Ephesians chapter 5 talks about the man is the one to love the woman, as Christ loved the church. The woman is supposed to submit to the man. So now, when these roles are interchanged, when a woman tries to love, she can't give the love that's supposed to be given. Women interpret love, they interpret submission as love.
Okay.
When a woman is loved right, she submits. And a man will think that is love. Because man has the capacity to love, as Christ loved the church. So today's generation is that we think love is about cakes, is about flowers, is about chocolates. The danger with that, the day the chocolates don't appear, the love is not there. You find, and that's why you unapata. And men, and for those who are watching, men must be celebrated.
Sante sana.
Men must be celebrated. It's not it's not a suggestion, it's a command. Because you see, leo tuko na sponsors wengi kwa sababu gani? Wives wengi our celebrate men wao. So mademu wadogo wana celebrate mabudesco. Unaona? So men will now opt to go for the women will now opt to go for the sponyos because their wives are not celebrating them. So when a man comes back home, he needs a woman to celebrate him. Massage his ego. Amekambila domo ambie, babe, unaweza. Tomorrow is another day. You know. Stay kubiri. But then I think our generation, we just need to define that. It's very important that we get to a place of knowing that it should not change. Our parents lived in their marriages for long because they didn't love because of tokens. If someone loves you and they can give you something, appreciate. But even if he doesn't have, see that person beyond what he's giving. And that's the agape love. It has no strings attached.
Hi, wow. Your sentiments on this, Grace?
We have the we nowadays interpret love as material stuff. If my husband comes home and brings me flower, that's love.
And by the way,
Yes.
a boyfriend or a husband is not a financial institution.
Leo tunajifunza mambo hapa hivi.
You see? Well, okay. I'd like to say this. If we take love out of material stuff, then love will conquer. And love is two-way. The definition of what love is today, it has to be two-way. I cannot expect my husband to be giving me gifts, but I never give anything in return. And you will find some women who will say that I cook, I wash, I clean, I give you babies. That's enough love for me. But you see, the same man who you're telling all those things, he's the one who gave you the home to clean. You get? He's the one who brings in the food you cook. He's the one who got you all those things that you say in return that you give back. So both of you do something. But now when it comes to the love part of it,
Yes.
if he can afford to get me flowers, even if I don't have enough money to give the bouquet of flower, I can always get one rose and bring. You get? It's not about the quantity for me, it's the quality. I may not have 10,000 to take you to Kempinski, but I can afford to take you to Altona. So it's up to you to appreciate what I can afford. Because at the end of the day, we are not the same, we are not equal. But what I give you out of pure heart should be appreciated. You get? So it's appreciation that will now bring in the love. And that's why you find most women are crying out here and saying, my husband doesn't do this and that. Because we've gotten to the point where we've started comparing our marriages with other people's marriages, our relationship with other people's relationships. I cannot compare my relationship with my husband with Ngina Kenyatta's relationship. You get? Her level is on another level. Yani, her place is on another level. Money to her may not be a problem today. So she can afford anything. And the person she will get to date can afford anything. But you see, I have to grow with my husband or with my boyfriend. We start from Altona. And by working together, loving each other as Christ has commanded us to do, holding each other's hand, tomorrow we will find ourselves in Kempinski or even in Dubai doing something. But it has but it has to start somewhere.
So true.
So if we take our mind out of the material stuff and love the person for who they are, but you see, you cannot love someone and not embrace their vision and not encourage them to be better. You cannot be looking down on someone every day. Yani wende unamwambianga, you will never amount to anything. Anakwambia, babe, I have a vision. Unamwambia hiyo vision yako sioni, it's not valid. If I love you, I have to hold your hand, with or without, as we walk together and work together to achieve. Because once we achieve, it's the two of us. Hakuna siku itakuwa ni wewe na mimi. I normally tell girls in our church, it's good. God may bless you with someone who has already made it. But be very careful, because most of the time, those who have already made it and you get into their life, you become another asset. So if I want to sit on you and roll and walk around, I'll do that comfortably because you have no say. But when we have worked together to achieve something, tomorrow you will not start telling me you came and found me with A, B, C, D. We worked together both. So even if we get to leave each other, hii tunagawana half. It's actually, I can even tell you, hakuna kitu ulikuja nayo, because the Bible says when you marry, she comes with favor. So everything you have, ni mimi nimeleta.
Yeah, there you've heard it. Guys, remember we are hanging out with Pastor Steve pamoja na Pastor Grace, and we are talking about if the 21st century love relationship is failing, and so much to learn. And this is what we call the class 101. There is always a lesson for each and every one of us. Now, right about now, we are going back to some musical break, but tukikam back ningependa tu kujua siri ambayo imefanya waka stick together, and then their parting shot towards our topic of the day. So, just in case kama kuna any question, please do so. Comment pale hivyo kwenye Count Me In, Kenya is the place to be. And then tukikam back, tutakuwa tuna sample some of the feedback ama something that you are learning today kwenye class 101. So right about now, Bua the DJ, when you're ready, twende kazi.
Love is kind, love is endurance. That goes like Jackie B production. Love is patient, love is kind, love is endurance. That I keep thinking. I got some love for the road boy. Tell your boy you got to know Jesus is your Savior and He loves your soul. I got some love for the lady. Baby girl, you got to know Jesus is your Savior and He loves your soul. Big boy, you big up full of sin, but inside you know you're empty. No time you're down and out. Voices always whisper in your head that you're never gonna make it to heaven, much less in life. We bring it good tidings for you, wonderful news. There's one who cares about